boys and girls. I want to talk to you today about TEK number 4.10c, and it is talking about savings options and about the advantages and disadvantages of savings. Turn to your partner, pause this video, and tell them what you think an advantage is, and tell them what you think a disadvantage is. Okay, go ahead and share. And if you talked about an advantage was something that was positive, that was something that helps you, then you're correct. A disadvantage is something that is not a positive, it's a negative, and it doesn't help you as much. So that's what today is about. Now, I want you to turn to your partner again and pause this video and talk to them about what do you know about savings? So go ahead and pause the video and turn to your partner and talk to them about what do you know about savings. Okay, I hope that you had a discussion about some of the things that you know about savings, and maybe as we go through this lesson today, we will hit upon some things that you might have already learned. And then by the end of the lesson, you should understand 5 saving options that we're talking about today, and what would be some pros, which is a positive, and some cons, which are negatives. So let's get started. The first that we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to see if I can get it to focus on my board, it is hiding your money. Now, I don't know how many of you might be hiding your money at home. Maybe you hide it in a sock. Maybe you hide it in one of the drawers in your house. Maybe you hide it in a shoe. But hiding your money is actually a savings option, and is when you save your money at home and you put it in a piggy bank or you keep it hidden. Well, by the end of the lesson today, you're going to have a list of pros, a list of advantages, a list of positives, of reasons why we might hide our money at home. You are also going to have a list of cons, a list of negatives, disadvantages of why maybe hiding your money at home is not a positive. So, one of the savings options that we're talking about today is hiding your money. The next one is, and I hope you are all familiar with this, and maybe you talked to your partner about it, it's having a savings account, and it's having a savings account in a bank. A savings account is when you put your money in a savings account, you let the bank hold on to it. You earn interest on the money you save, and your money is protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Okay, stop this video and turn to your partner and tell them what you think interest is. And I'll give you just a moment. Okay, let's come back together. So, ideas for interest are, basically interest is the bank gives you a little bit of money on top of what you've already put in there. So let's say you have $5 in your savings account and the bank gives you an interest of 25 cents. Well, they're giving you 25 cents because you put that $5 in your savings account in their bank. So that's what interest is. It's just a little bit of money that you earn extra when you put your money in a savings account. Okay, protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, or also known as FDIC. And basically they say that we're going to insure your money. A tornado comes along, a fire comes along, somebody robs the bank, whatever money you have in the bank, your money is protected by the FDIC. So they're going to say, don't worry, your money is safe. So that's the second saving option that we're talking about today. Whoops, and they went on by. Okay, the third one is the stock market. Nope. The third one is the money market. And the money market, some of your parents may actually have an account in a money market. And a money market is a type of savings account that usually earns a greater amount of interest than a basic savings account. Remember, we talked about interest is the bank gives you a little bit of money back for what you've put in their account. Well, a money market gives you more interest back on whatever you put in there. But with a money market account, often you have to keep a certain amount of money in the account. And the account is considered is a considerably higher. Like most of your savings accounts, you may have to keep $5 in there. A money market account, you may have to keep $500 in there. So you have to keep more money in your account at all times. But it's also, again, protected by the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. So again, by the end of this lesson, you'll know some pros on money markets, and you'll also know some cons on money market. Okay, the next one is the stock market, and some of your parents may dabble in the stock market. The stock market is an everyday term we use to talk about a place where stocks and bonds are traded, meaning they're bought and sold. And if you invest in these, you will become part owner of the company. If you buy a stock, let's say you buy one share of Amazon, you now own a little bit of Amazon if that's what you choose to do. You have a greater return on your money than any other savings option, but it is also risky and it is not guaranteed you will earn money. Notice it is not insured by the FDIC. So it is not guaranteed that you're going to make any money or you're going to keep the money you put in there. So again, by the end of the lesson, you'll understand the pros and the cons. And then the last one. And it is never too early to start this one. This one is the retirement account. A retirement account is a plan for setting aside money to be spent after you quit working. Money kept in account without taking it out for long periods of time. The interest grows over this period of time, and usually you don't have to pay taxes until the money is taken out. And if you wait until a specific age, then you don't have to pay taxes at all, I believe. If you take out your money early, before a certain age, you will have to pay a penalty. The money, again, is protected by the FDIC because it's kind of along the lines with a bank. But it is a retirement account, and retirement is when you stop working, and usually that is in the age of around the late 50s, 60s, and 70s. So you would start an account up, you would put money in it yearly, and then you wouldn't touch it. You would just pretend that it's not there. And then eventually when you get a retirement age, you can go back and get it out and you can spend it. So again, we will learn about the pros and cons. So those are the 5 accounts that we're going to be talking about today, the 5 saving options. So let me talk to you about the activity that you're going to do today. You're going to be gluing these notes into your math journal or wherever you keep the notes. I'm trying to see where you can see them. You're going to be gluing these pages in, and at the top of each page it looks exactly like what I put on the board for you with the retirement account, the money market account, the stock market, hiding your money, and the savings account. Then you're going to have 2 types of cards. You're going to have green and you're going to have red. Green is what we're going to consider advantage. Red is what we're going to consider the disadvantage. And you with your group are going to take these headers and you're going to put them underneath each one of the saving options. So all the positive green ones, like the money market account, the retirement account, the savings account, and the hiding your money, you're going to put under the savings option that is a positive. Then you're going to receive these cards. And notice at the top of these cards, they have like A11 or D3. So if it is a disadvantage and it says you can take your money out when you need it at any time, whatever you believe that falls under, whether you believe it falls under hiding your money or a savings account, you're going to write A11, take out when needed. Now, I like writing myself a little note so that I know exactly what that card said. So I put that on the pro side. Now, con, very risky. This is very risky. I know that hiding your money at home, maybe it is very risky. Maybe by the time you finish this lesson, you will consider this as something risky, and you'll put D4 over here under the cons, and you will write very risky. At the end, now let me tell you, you can use some of these cards multiple places. So just know that they're not going to be used just in one place. And by the end of the lesson, when everyone is finished, then we're going to come back together and we're going to go over your answer choices. So pause the video and I will see you in a little while. Okay, you can go ahead and unpause your video and let's go ahead and see and talk about and have some discussion about the answer choices. Okay, so here are some of the things that we have down for hiding your money. Now, we can be in agreement or disagreement. If we're in disagreement, let's have a discussion about it. All right, pros, you're the only person who knows where the money is. I consider that a positive unless you tell your whole house or you tell your best friend where you hide your money in your house. That would be a pro because you would be the only one that would know. Another positive would be you can take the money out whenever you need it because you can go into your bedroom or wherever you have the money hidden and you can take it out. So I consider that's probably a positive for hiding your money at home. Now, here are some negatives and let's see if we're in agreement. Weather and water can damage your money. You can forget where it is. It does not earn you any additional money. Your money is not protected and cannot be replaced. A fire can change or damage all of your life savings. Okay, pause the video if you want to have a discussion about any of the extras that you want to add on the pro side, or maybe any of the extras you want to add on the con side, or if there's one or two of them that you want to have a discussion about. So go ahead and pause your video and have your discussion. Okay, let's come back together and let's look at a regular savings account. Probably one that you might have at maybe Happy State Bank or Amarillo National or one of the banks that maybe your parents bank with. The regular savings account, when your money is in a savings account, you let the bank hold on to it. You earn very little interest on your money. Remember, interest is what the bank gives you back for keeping it in there. Your money is protected by the FDIC. Okay, so here's some pros, here's some advantages. Your money will earn a little bit extra of money every month. You can take money out when you need it at any time. Your money is insured by the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and your money is safe in the bank. Now, pause your video and talk about if there are any other pros that you would like to add to this. Okay, now let's look at the con side. This earns very little interest. Okay, is there any other cons that you want to add to this? If you do, pause your video and let's have a discussion about it. Okay, let's come back together and move on. Now let's talk about the money market. Okay, remember that's the type of savings account that you're going to earn a higher interest rate than a regular savings account, but most of the time you have to have a higher balance in it than you do a regular savings account. In other words, you have to keep the same amount or a high amount of money in it at all times. You can't have $50 in it, take out $50 and leave it at zero. If the minimum amount is $50, then you have to always have at least $50 in there. And then, of course, it's protected by the FDIC. So here's some of the pros. Your money is safe in the bank. Your money is insured by the FDIC. Your money will earn a little bit of extra money every month. Now that's all your pros, okay? Pause the video if there's a discussion of any others that you think you might want to add to that side. Okay, let's come back together. Now let's look at the cons. You may have to have a minimum amount of money in the bank, and we talked about that. This earns a little more money than a savings account. Now, are there any other cons that we could add to this? If so, pause your video and let's discuss it. Okay, let's go to the next one, the stock market. The stock market, remember, is a place where you can buy and trade, sell bonds, ownership to a company. And if you invest, you become part owner. Now, you have a greater return on your money, but you also have a greater risk, and you are not guaranteed to get any money back. So the pros, advantages, positives, When you invest your money into this, you can have a greater rate of return than any other savings option. And if you invest in this, you become a stakeholder. That means you own a part of the company. Is there anything else on the pro side that you would like to add? If so, pause your video and have a discussion. All right, let's look at the con side. This is very risky. Okay, and you are not guaranteed that you will earn any money from this. There's no promises, there's no guarantees like the FDIC. Okay, again, if you have anything else as a group that you want to add or you want to have a discussion about, now's the time. Pause your video. Okay, let's return to the last one, the retirement account. Okay, this is for setting aside money for when you finally retire from work. You're no longer going to work and go to your job. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe your parents are teachers. Maybe they work for a bank. Whatever. They've decided they're not working anymore and they're old enough to take their money out of the retirement account. Well, here's your pros. Your money is safe in a bank. Your money is insured by the FDIC. Your money can be set aside when you retire from work. You usually don't have to pay taxes on the money you put into this until the money is withdrawn. And both the principal, which is the money that you put in there, that's called principal, that the money that you put in there and the amount of interest, what the bank gives you back over time grows. You earn more. So principal is the money that you put in, and interest is the money that they give you attached to it when you're doing a savings account. Notice there's a lot of pros with this. Okay, let's look at the cons now. The money is not available to you until you reach a certain age. If you withdraw the money before a certain period of time, you will have to pay a tax and a penalty. Are there any more cons? If so, pause your video and discuss it. Okay, finishing up this lesson today, I want you to think about which one of those savings options do you really like? Which one is appealing to you? In other words, which one would you, if you had the money, you would go home tomorrow or you would go home today and you would want to do something like this? Turn to your partner and talk about it. Maybe you have the same savings options or thought about it or not. I'll give you just a second to turn and talk to your partner. Okay, closing this up, we learned about 5 savings options today. We learned about hiding your money. We learned about a savings account. We learned about a money market account. We learned about the stock market, and we learned about the retirement account. I want you to think about it again today about all the advantages and disadvantages of those 5 things. So that when we start, as you start and you get older, and you can start thinking about how you want to take care of your money. I hope some of you already have the savings option going on. Maybe some of you already have the hiding your money in your account. So today's lesson was about 4.10c, and it was about savings options, which we talked about 5, and the advantages, the pros, the positives, and the disadvantages, the cons and the negatives about all the savings options that we discussed. I hope you had a great day today, and I hope you learned a lot and you shared a lot. See you later.